Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekly energy update for the week of August 31st, 2025. I'm Renee Spears, a spirit guide channeler and spiritual mentor, and I'm coming to you from beautiful Bozeman, Montana. Every Sunday, I share the energy for the week ahead, and I also infuse the show with some positive vibes, so you get a little positive energy boost just for listening. And welcome to the 400th episode of the Abundology podcast. I can hardly believe I'm saying that. 400 episodes with listeners from 80 different countries. When I started this podcast 6 years ago, I knew absolutely nothing about podcasting. I literally recorded the first episodes on my phone, and thank goodness my friends agreed to be my first guests while I was figuring out what the hell I was doing. I had to learn the tech and to find my own style. So for a minute, I also recorded the video for YouTube, but that didn't work. Because I record on Sunday mornings, I don't want to get camera ready on a Sunday morning. I just want to stay in my pajamas. So yes, I record every weekly energy update in my pajamas. So this podcast is proof that you are never too old or too inexperienced to start something new. Just start where you are with what you have and just let it grow. Like recording a podcast on your phone in your pajamas, you never know where it's going to lead. I also love that this 400th podcast is happening right now, today, on the last day of August, just as we're entering September. This September is like the final chapter of a book, where everything written so far comes together in clarity. If you're a longtime listener, you've heard me say hundreds of times that we're starting a new chapter. And now all the chapters are written, the book is finally finished, and we're clearing the slate so we can begin the next book. So let's start with the numerology this month. September is a 9 universal month in a 9 universal year. That makes it a double 9 month, which is very rare and spiritually powerful. Double 9 energy signals the closing of a huge cycle. We're releasing everything we're done with. Old identities, relationships, habits, and even soul contracts. We can think of it as a graduation month and the end of a 9-year cycle. Yes, this is only September, and so it seems weird that we would be feeling the strong sense of ending the 9-year cycle now. But you know, the universe doesn't follow the calendar. It's on its own timeline. So the endings this month are preparing us for new beginnings next year. Spiritually, this is the final purge before stepping into a brand new cycle, which is the one energy of 2026. And with that comes a lot of inner reflection, nostalgia, and a review of the past 9 years. It feels like the end of an era. And the astrology matches the numerology this month. September has 2 eclipses, a Blood Moon Eclipse next Sunday on the 7th, and a new moon solar eclipse on the 21st. Eclipses fast track our timeline, and if we've gotten off track, they get us back in alignment. They bring change, sudden events, and they can rattle us to our core. And this first week of the month leading up to the lunar eclipse next Sunday is big. And it starts tomorrow, Monday, with Saturn returning to Pisces. So at the end of May, Saturn, the planet of karma and responsibility, moved out of Pisces and into Aries for the first time in 28 years. This move began a new karmic journey for all of us. Now, because Saturn is retrograde right now, it's moving back into Pisces one last time to finalize any lessons and to make sure that we have tied up all the loose ends. Karmic lessons we've been working with since March of 2023 now come to a close, and we're going to feel a sense of relief and satisfaction. Also this week, Mercury enters its ruling sign of Virgo on Tuesday, bringing structure and order. Mercury is the planet of communication, and when it's in Virgo, it can help us think straight and organize our thoughts. But if you're out of alignment, Mercury and Virgo can lead to overthinking and being overly critical of ourselves and others. And then Saturday the 6th, the day before the eclipse, Uranus goes retrograde for the first time since entering Gemini. Uranus moved into Gemini in July, and this move brought a monumental shift to our consciousness. Uranus going retrograde helps us to start peeling back the layers. Uranus ultimately wants us to be more of our true selves and will adjust anything that isn't authentic. So this retrograde helps us to start peeling back the layers like an onion to get to our core of who we really are. So if it's been hard for you to adapt to all the changes that have happened this year, Uranus retrograde is going to feel like a breath of fresh air. So this week, the first week of the month, we have Saturn going back into Pisces, wrapping up karmic lessons, Mercury moving into Virgo, helping us get our minds and our thinking straight, and Uranus going retrograde in Gemini, helping us to be more of our true selves and bringing change to anywhere we are out of alignment. All of this is leading up to Sunday's Blood Moon Eclipse, one of the major cosmic events of the year. Blood moon eclipses are total full moon eclipses, and because they're total and there's no light, they tend to look red. Blood moons bring endings into our lives and they speed up our timeline. Sometimes what ends or is cleared away just doesn't make sense to us just yet. We have to trust the unfolding and know that eclipses always put us where we need to be. This eclipse is deeply emotional and spiritual because it's happening in Pisces. So we might question our spiritual faith or be really confused and doubt that everything happening right now is for our greatest good. It's normal right now to not be able to see how all the turmoil in our world is for the best. There are many ways the eclipse can affect us individually, but all of us will be feeling a sense of change in the air. And this is just the first week of the month. So also happening this month, Mercury shifts signs again and moves into Libra. Venus moves into Virgo, and we have another eclipse. It's the final eclipse of 2025, and it's a beautiful solar eclipse in Virgo. This is the second new moon in a row in Virgo, which is very rare, and it just happens to be an eclipse. But wait, there's more. On the very next day after the solar eclipse on the 22nd is the fall equinox and the start of Libra season. This shifts our energy again away from our lower chakras and into our higher chakras. So any feelings of being stuck shake loose, and we start to feel ready for what's next. So this entire month, we're going to be out of our comfort zone. Growth and change can be uncomfortable. So the more willing we are to accept and welcome change into our lives, the easier time we're going to have with the energies of September. And by the time we reach the end of the month, the eclipses will be over. Yeah, we still may be dealing with the aftermath of their energies, but the intensity will have passed and something will have shifted. And then the 9-year book we've written is over. It's closed. Now we're aligned exactly where we're meant to be, and we're ready to start the next book. The most important thing to focus on this month is staying as grounded and balanced as possible. With so much change happening, we're able to flow with it much better if we're balanced. So I suggest right now you get a plan for this. Maybe this looks like more walks, more yoga, starting a breathing or meditation practice. And there's no need to be afraid. Eclipses are karmic gifts, and they can also be a lot. So to enjoy the changes, or at the very least not be afraid of the changes, start now and take this long weekend to get your energy straight and a plan to stay grounded and balanced this month. And if you'd like some extra help with that, next week the Fall Women's Wisdom Circle starts, and it's all about inner peace and quieting the nonstop chatter happening in our heads. We'll use the book The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer as the guide, but there are also guided meditations and exercises, and the best part are the spiritual conversations with other cool-ass women. This is a fabulous way to finish the year and start 2026 grounded and peaceful. So I'll put a link to learn more in the show notes, or you can go to my website, abundology.com. The early bird price of $300 ends on Tuesday, so register now. Also this week, I'm releasing my Money Reset Toolkit. I get asked all the time what to do when you find yourself in scarcity. And the Money Reset Toolkit shares the exact steps I take to get out of scarcity and back into abundance. It contains a video, guided meditation, and a workbook, and it's only $37. Such a deal. So I expect to finish that today, so it will be available tomorrow. I mean, there is a lot happening this month. We're closing out an entire 9-year cycle, and we'll feel that sense of completion and nostalgia. It's time to finish it up, tie it off, and finally move the fuck on. So enjoy the long weekend. It's beautiful here, so I'm going to get out for a couple of hikes and take a couple of naps. My son Tice is running the Mexico City Marathon this morning as I'm recording this, so shout out to him. And thank you for listening to me for 400 episodes. And I'll be back next week to talk all about the Blood Moon Eclipse.